What's going on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys yet another predictions video. Last video was my outside 4 predictions for URL. Those battles just went down this weekend, not streamed, but coming to the app, I believe, sometime this week. So, you know the drill. I'll probably give my thoughts on all of them, but the standout battle of that, I think, 5-6 battle pack will get a review here. I'm expecting it to be Rockin' J, but I'll see what the best battle is before I make that decision. And then this prediction video here is for TBL's next card, Point Proven. They'd started announcing some battles for this the night of Apollo. They had announced the main event, which is Rum Nitty versus Elijah Straight, which we'll talk about here in the predictions video, and they'd kind of trickled announcements from there. And I really like what TBL's doing because they have Apollo. Humongous mega card, right? I think Bulletproof, Hitman, and Mook will also be a card more of that magnitude, but they've had like middle tier type of cards as well to give you a variety of different tiers and a variety of different opportunities. They had started early this year. I don't remember the name of the event. It was a 2-day event, but it had like Av versus Excel, Chirac versus Clips. I believe those were the main events for each day, with like all types of battles in between. Then it's Apollo, then Point Proven, which is a step back, just staying active, and then in September you have another event. So maybe they're shooting for around 5-6 events a year. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of value out of that. You get your big events while still staying active enough in the middle. I think you blend in properly. If there is one critique I'll give before we even get into the matchups themselves, how I'm calling it, it is a 12 battle card here going down in Atlanta this upcoming. You guys are getting this video, I think, Monday morning, so it'll be this upcoming weekend. I would like if they trimmed it down a little bit. I don't really think they will. Everything I've seen from TBL looks like they've kind of been inspired a bit by like how King of the Dot used to book in a sense. So I would love if TBL did like 5-6 or 6-7 battle cards at max, really honed in on specific matchups. I think it would be good for timing, getting in and out of the event, because I think that they do production pretty fast. It's just that it's 12 battles. I just don't think you ever need more than 10 battles in one day. That could just be a personal opinion. It doesn't look like TBL is doing that. Hopefully for Bulletproof they do, and that's kind of more of a conversation in itself when we talk about that card coming up in the next couple of days. But with all that being said, let's do the predictions here for Point Proven. Starting from the bottom of the card, we have Phantom versus Banks the God. Not going to call this one. Not really in tune with either of their work. I saw Dollar Bill smoke Banks the God once on a Bags and Bodies card, so the more you know. Shastafa versus LSG. Shastafa's put in some decent work on the smaller leagues, Battle Vets, Chef Trez, B Magic, but overall not too much going on here. Then you have Death the Kid versus Fendi. I'm gonna be honest, 2 liabilities here, talented liabilities. You have Fendi, who is a good female battle, not just a good female battle rap pen. I think Fendi's got tons of talent. She has never been clean. It's stunted her career growth, but luckily for her, she's in a matchup versus Death the Kid, who's really lived up to the death part of the name. A little more disappointing for me, because I remember when that iBattle crop of talent with Appa and Los Preem and Death came out, I thought Death was going to be one of the better battlers. He's the Judge Win versus Los Preem. Look where Preem's at now. He had the headband title shot. I battled shot versus Appa, and ever since that 3-0 body bag loss, I just feel like he's never been the same. He's got the clone battle as of recent. Obviously, that was another death for him. Few other battles he's choked in. He's decent here and there, but I'll go Fendi 2-1, but it's just a pick 'em. Coach Corleone versus Just Cuz. I think they're both Bags and Bodies. Not sure about Just Cuz, but I got Coach 2-1. Just Cuz gets a lot of plates at TBL. I know he beat Mike P. I don't know if it was on TBL, but if it was, that means he's reached some highs over here. But I think Coach is just a better talent. I think Coach's issue is he's not good versus top tiers. Once he kind of stepped up versus Geechee, Chef Trez, Big K, I didn't like that battle. Maybe some people would disagree. I think he doesn't win at that level, but this level, I think he collects victories, and I just think he's a better battle rapper than Just Cuz. I could end up being wrong, but I got Coach 2-1. Sniper versus Foots. Sniper, one of the last bricks from RBE. Before they kind of closed up shop. But this one is all about Foots. Foots is a better talent. Foots has reached higher highs. He's been misbooked throughout his career. And then when he had that huge layoff for 9 months after the Nitty contract debacle, he came back and he didn't look that good. He had the Dice battle, not a good look. He lost to Wusa, but I've seen him be great versus Jerry West. I know he has the ability. I don't know if it's motivation. I don't know what it is. His career's been a little bit all over the place. I don't know if he'll ever get to like the trajectory it looked like he was on in the beginning when he first got on with URL, but I know he's better than Sniper, and he should win this battle truly 3-0, but I'll say 2-1. Then from there, we have a rebooking. Ace Amin versus Hansel, and Ace Amin has been in the headlines again for the reason that I picked against him the first time this battle was booked on Apollo, supposed to open. Ace has got what seems to be like everything but battle rap going on, and it has caused a lot of his battles to either get canceled or postponed last second. And the few times he has popped out, his last 3 or 4, maybe I'm missing a smaller league battle somewhere in there, but it's the Capo 1-rounder, which he stumbled in. He lost clear. The Suge battle, we're going back a minute to the Suge battle, which he died a gruesome death. The Marv battle before that, he was stumbling, and it sucks because before all that, he was doing great. SM versus Nitty, Win versus Arsenal. He is a better battle rapper at his peak than Hansel. I know a lot of battle rappers like to judge like that. Like, you got to pick him if they're at 100%. But with everything that's going on with Ace, and now the Jay Moore situation that went down, how am I supposed to just look at his 100% when he hasn't been 100% in well over like a year and a half? So I'm even more confident in my Hansel pick. I heard he just did decent versus Loso. He's been in a lot of judge battles to start the year. I think I said something about his judge battles last video, that he lost a couple. I think he's 3-1 in judge battles when I went back at it. So my apologies if I got that one wrong, Hansel, but confident. I think he's coming in here with momentum versus Ace, where I don't know if battle rap's his priority right now. So Hansel 2-1, if not 3-0. Then from there, we have Shuni, the rapper, versus Lady Caution. Just a good female punch fest. I'm going to go Shuni 2-1. Another one, I hate to call it out, where cleanliness on both sides. Like, there's a possibility, there's some chokes, there's some stumbles, but at their best, I just think Shuni is Shuni, and I just think she's a better battler than Lady Caution. I think it could be a decent battle where Caution fights back a bit, but I'm pretty confidently going with Shu. From there, we have Quest McCody versus Sheed Happens, which I actually think can be one of the best battles on the card. Both good pens, both can get animated, especially Sheed, and they've both been putting in a lot of good work as of recent. I love Quest's performances across those 3 battles. Him versus Av, him versus Nitty, him versus Danny. I will admit I had him on the losing side of all 3 battles, but I thought they're good fights. He's competitive in these battles. And then Sheed starting his 2025 about as good as anyone, finding that second win. Always knew he had high potential. You see the Jay the Nightwing battle, it's like that. That's why we love what Sheed Happens can be. Had the Excel win last time here on TBL on Apollo. Beat Fate in a 1-rounder. I heard him versus Chef Trez was really good on outside 4. So he's got all the momentum in the world right now. I just think at his peak he's a bit better. So I hate to do it to Quest. I keep predicting him to lose in good battles, but I feel like that's what's been happening. I'm going to do it again here. I got Sheed Happens 2-1 over Quest, but I expect to be impressed with both of their performances. Marv 1 versus Loso. I think it'll be a solid battle. I know that they're pretty friendly with each other. But I'm hearing Loso's getting back in form. Everything with outside 4s I heard, but I heard him and Hansel was even a pretty decent battle. And then obviously Loso's last time on TBL is versus J2, which was his best performance in years. So some confidence here for Loso, but I am going to go Marv 2-1 actually. And I know I'm a little bit critical of some of Marv's footage. Like he beat Geechee Gotti. I didn't really love the footage. Him and Rock, I had Rock winning, and I didn't think it was the craziest battle. But more times than not, I'm also seeing Marv win. He did beat Geechee Gotti. It's a lot of I heard reports in this video, but I heard that he beat Swamp. He put up a good fight when he battled Danny Myers. Even though I had him losing to Av, I thought he was decent there. So, I don't know. I just have a little more confidence in Marv to win in this situation, but I think it'll be a cool battle. Like, I think it'll add value to the card. And then we have the top 3 battles remaining, which is Miss Hustle versus Shy Rack. And this one, a lot of conversations sparked when it got announced. Shy Rack and kind of the plates she's been getting. And, was a big fan of her 2023. It felt like before she got credit, she got all this credit with the Yoshi win. That really is what put some eyes on her. Because before that, she was cooking, right? And I was like, so underrated, needs to get more noise. Then she is the year where the Yoshi wins big, but she chokes in all the other battles. And ever since she's gotten all these top tiers, I get, like, she is talented. I like Chirac, but she's clearly not ready for it. And she's lost a lot of these battles. You know, going way back on TBL, I know she beat KCJ, but from there, she lost to 40 bars. She lost to Jazz the Rapper. She lost to Official. Her and Shooty was a pretty good battle over there in QB's league, so I'll give her that. But she lost to Zan as well in there. She lost to Jerry Wet. Like, she's not clean in a lot of these battles. Why is she battling Miss Hustle? She's gonna get her ass kicked by Miss Hustle. And I guess if she has like one good round, it doesn't completely die, this keeps continuing. But I think she's a good talent that's just being fed to the wolves over and over and over. Maybe 1 out of every 5 battles hits. I just feel like she could be better than that. It is what it is, though. I mean, she's like, seems to be like the marquee lady on TBL. So I'm gonna understand if they want to keep booking like a really solid female matchup on the card. You know, Chirac is kind of our girl to give the look to. I'm not even necessarily mad at that, but I have no reason to not think Miss Hustle's going to win this battle. She was better than Chirac when they were both on the TBL Apollo card. I had her beating Real Deal. Obviously, I had Official beating Chirac very clear. The Hitman battle this year, it's Miss Hustle versus Chirac. Like, I don't got to go into all the details. I have her winning this battle very clear. I think it could be a 30. Then the co-main event of the night, 40 bars versus Eunice. It is a very good penmanship battle. If that was the only part of the battle. I think obviously 40 is one of the best female pens of all time, if not the best. And Eunice is probably the best up-and-coming pen in battle rap right now. Definitely the most talked about up-and-comer. But I have extreme confidence in Eunice because 40 bars is, out of all the battlers we talked about being unclean, this is like the final boss of fucking up every battle. This is where we're at with 40 across the board. Just, was unclean versus Geechee Gotti when they battled. I'm not going to do the thing where I name like the 15 battles that 40 bars choked in. I'm just going to go with Eunice in this battle. Obviously, if 40's clean, then it can be a dynamite battle. And I will say, Eunice tends to bring the best versions out of his opponents. Everyone knows he's the talked about rookie. So that's why you keep getting him in good fights, because he gets, everyone thinks franchises out of him. I'm going to prove something versus Eunice. Pass. You guys overdoubted Pass. A lot of people did. I don't know why. But, I had Eunice winning that battle going in and ended up bringing out a very good version of Pass. Maybe that could happen for 40, but I'm not holding my breath for it. So I got Eunice winning this battle pretty clear, 2-1 if not 3-0. And that just leaves us with the main event of the night, Rum Nitty versus Elijah Straight. Textbook definition of a mirror match. And how many times have you heard, up-and-coming battlers making his waves, and it's, oh, he sounds just like such and such, and it's an established battler or a legend of some sort, or he just sounds, it's just like his style. We hear it all the time with everyone. Even legends had to face that on the way up. But there may not be a more accurate example of that than Elijah Straight and Rum Nitty. And it doesn't mean Elijah's not good. When I say this and when others say it, they take it immediately like it's completely shitting on him. And it's a critique to an extent, of course, but I think Elijah's very good, and I think the fact he gets these comparisons for a style that's so based on just creative wordplay and picking up the best punches, it goes to show how intelligent of a battle rap puncher he is. He has so many bars just like Nitty that are like right in front. Like, how have I not, like, how has no one used that before? How has no one like thought of that? That punch was right in front of everyone, and he has that ability to be great as a puncher. But it's not just the punching that makes him sound like Nitty. He has Nitty's mannerisms. He has Nitty's gestures. He has Nitty's voice inflections. The way he delivers some of these bars, it is Rum Nitty coded to the core. And I think he is a good version of it. But there's only so far you can take it when there is like Rum Nitty, when there is the style that you are sounding exactly like. And I think that that's just going to happen here. I think it could be something. We've just seen instances. Now, granted, King and Danny are very, very good, very, very similar. I think also, we just saw the battle they had on Trenches. I think this is still going to be a good battle. I just have Rum Nitty winning the battle. I think he's also going to have an opportunity like Danny did versus King. It's funny, I didn't think of the parallels of those battles till now. To kind of talk to him in a, you're a not younger version of me. He won't do it just like that, but something to speak directly on like the similarity in Elijah Strait taking his style. And I just think the talent gap is a bit different than like a King who's one of the best up and comers. I think Elijah is good. I just think it's a tall task in this Nitty matchup. I think he's gonna at certain points I think run with Nitty punching wise because he really has stretches where he's that good. But I still think Nitty is the better puncher, the better all around battle rapper, and of course is gonna have the obvious angle at his disposal that kind of is the selling point of this battle. But it would not shock me even if Nitty wins clear, which I'm predicting, that Nitty and Elijah is still top 2, top 3 battles of the night. So overall, got Rum Nitty 2-1, possibly 3-0, but he always seems to give up around. So I'm going to go Rum Nitty 2-1, but I still think him and Elijah is going to be a really good battle. And with that being said, that is my full predictions here for TBL's Point Proven card. Like I said, not the craziest like some of these other cards are going to have in 2025, but I think solid rec. And as always, I want to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section down below on any of my predictions, what you agree or disagree with, and your predictions. How do you feel about Nitty versus Elijah Strait? Do you agree with me? Are you one of those that think they sound nothing alike, or someone like me that thinks like it's down to the details of performance in terms of similarities? How are you calling it? How are you calling 40 versus Eunice, Miss Hustle versus Chirac, Quest versus Sheed, etc., etc.? And expect Calico's spring cleaning predictions for his card coming up. Probably is going to be my next video. But it's been J Smo Reviews again here, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.